Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, April 18th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and SPY. So right off the bat, once again, we have our 8th smallest range of the year today, right? $2.94. We had a 287 range yesterday, which was our 5th smallest range. There's a good chance we're going to have one of our top 10 lowest volumes of the year. We have to get above 65 million for that not to happen. Right now we're in the 50s with the after hours still to come. The frustrating thing is with these small ranges and volume, I have not traded well. So I had a rough one today, got caught in A period. The bigger picture is the market overall, buyers have to be happy. Okay, we basically just traded in yesterday's upper range. After failing with the gap, we held kind of where the price spike was. Now, we did have an inside day yesterday, so that's a miserable failure because they didn't get anything after the opening. Had a tremendous amount of trouble between the 78 and 85 level. We finally took back one tick of single prints in M period. So first, let's go to NQ. NQ opened with a gap, fills the gap in B period, and goes trend down. They end 12 wide after all that, and a trend day down. It is a B shape, but again, you can't ignore the trend. The reason we're getting these trend days on P shapes and B shapes is because it's just such emotional trading. And they push these things really hard and really fast. And that's why you get those. So that's why NQ is like that. Righty. Also, gapped higher, came out of their balance to the upside now. Looking at IWM's chart, it's going to be very subjective whether you want to say the daily is up or still balanced in the righty and IWM. I don't think you'd be wrong saying either thing. As far as ES and NQ, they're up to me. So righty gaps higher, fills the gap in A, takes back yesterday's trend day in A, takes back the 11 wide POC in C, and their afternoon pullback in E. And they almost took out yesterday's low, but they didn't. They end 11 wide, and I believe they have one tick or two ticks of singles in B or C. I'm not sure which one it was. I'll have to look later or tomorrow. But if they have a trend day, it is very, very small. Now for us, we always talk about, people might get sick of hearing it, but we always talk about front-running overnight highs and lows. So I told the room this morning, look, we're opening on a gap, we're opening with higher value. So buyers have two very good things in their favor. So you want to get the overnight high right away, which was poor, by the way. So guess what? We opened and didn't get it. Now that doesn't mean right away I'm like, okay, that's it for the buyers. But it did turn out to be that's it for the buyers. We never saw the opening again. We had a dollar sell tail. So we had good excess from today after that flush down. We never even got into B's range, right? NQ still has single prints. They didn't get into their A range, that sell tail, and certainly righty didn't. So even though the bulls did take back a lot today after it flushed out in ABC, we still have some decent excess on the daily. But again, I still think the buyers are in control here on the daily and the weekly. So I'm not fully expecting that to hold. All right, so the key levels, again, I'm going to probably miss the opening tomorrow. I should be back by hopefully 10 the latest. So the key levels to keep an eye on tomorrow are basically B's high. Now, I counted that as a highest accepted price where A closed, look at that. B opened, went up a penny or two, and we never saw it again. And we did go trend initially in B. And we went trend in C, actually. But that was taken back fairly quickly. But B's was not taken back until late in the day. Okay? So the question is, I'm going to use B's high as the highest accepted price. Generally, those single prints hold, the trend day holds. But there's so much different MGI with these short-term traders because of how fickle they are. So I'll use it. So for tomorrow's opening, I would be as a buyer, you want acceptance above value high and B's high, right? It's about a 3-point range. If you get that, you're going to eat away at this excess and eventually probably take out today's high and continue towards February's yearly high. If you can't get above value high and B's high with acceptance, and this sell tail / excess holds, well, then you have to worry about, number one, you should come down and get the wide 10 wide POC. And then more importantly is, do we take out today's low, which would then firmly put the daily back into balance. Weekly would still be healthy, but at least in the shorter time frame, to be back to balance. Those are the two key levels to look for tomorrow. So what did I do in A? I didn't do anything in A until, right, we came up, and I thought for sure we pulled back. Then we got above the opening. I'm like, you know what? Gap value higher. There's no way we're not going to go get this. And I started along at 94 and a quarter. What did I start at? 94.75, I think. A 2-lot. Well, I was obviously wrong, and it came in. Now, I bought 3 more at 83 when we got down. Then I bought 5 at 77. 77 or 70? Yeah, 77. Now, the 5 at 77 I made money on. I actually had a chance to get out of the 3 at 83 up at 81. I didn't. I should have. So I finally took, when it started coming in again, I took the rest of them off, the 5 off at 74. So I got hurt pretty good in A period. I battled back throughout the day on basically all shorts against the single prints, against level, the half back, all that. So I took back half of what I was down. But still, 3 days in a row now, I've been in the red. So not happy about that. Especially with small ranges and low volume. I shake my head when I look at how poorly I traded. Did I get stubborn on that long? No doubt. I really thought, though, when we were sitting here around the 80 level and we kept sitting there, even once we filled the gap, I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe we just, we do go back up now. Think about it. When you gap higher and you have higher value, and I'm more kind of, I'm explaining to you, but I'm kind of, it's not that I'm justifying the trade, but I'm telling you why I was in it and why I held it. And the odds of going trend, to me, aren't, they shouldn't be that good when you have a gap higher and higher value, okay? But again, it's respecting what a short-term trader can do, and it's just crazy how they just take MGI and throw it out the window. So they go down, they fill the gap, yet we spent, after the morning, trying to get below the base of the price spike, we just spent the whole afternoon doing what, for the most part? Just grinding back up where I thought we might hold, which is the 80 level. We had a nice liquidation breaking K. I was actually short 3 at 79. No, I'm sorry. 3 at 80. I was short 3 at 80. I made money on them. I took them off at 78. I took the last one off at E's high, which was 75 and a quarter to get to the POC. But then right after I got out, it tried to go back up, and then it just flushed. So that would have been nice if it had done that when I had my trade on at that point. So short-term traders change on a dime. I have to respect them more, obviously. Got to get back on the right track tomorrow. Now, as far as destinations, I will use B's high as a highest accepted price, 414.71, and then today's high at 415.72. Downside with 10 wide at 413.83, that's E's high, and today's low of 412.78. NES, 84.50 would be your highest accepted price, and then today's high of 94.75. And then on the downside, 75.25 is 10 wide, and today's low of 64.50. I wanted to short the overnight high, but at the time, it just didn't get close enough. I wanted like 90, what was the overnight high? 98 and a quarter. I was looking more for 97. I think we got to 95. What was our high today? What did I just say? 95? 94.75. So I was looking for like another 2 points. I also knew, because if they had gotten the overnight high, what's right above it? 4,200. We know how they love playing at those levels. So I would have liked to have shorted that. So when I took this long, when we got back above the opening, it was strictly to just go get now the overnight high. I figured once they tested lower, couldn't get much. The market's still healthy. We still have value, still have gap. We got above the opening. Nope, not to be. Nice little head fake, and then dragged me into the quagmire. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Now, let's go to the charts. I didn't realize how long this video is, so I apologize. So the monthly is in a 6-month balance, okay, including today. February's high is the key level that bulls want to take, plain and simple. Weekly is up, weekly is healthy, okay? We made a new high today on the weekly, 415. Today's high is 415.72. Oh, they have 416.08. That's the overnight high. Okay. That's why. All right, so 415.72. So the weekly's healthy. One time framing up for 5 weeks. And the daily, to me, is healthy too right now. Even though we pulled back. We're up. We're one time framing up 4 days. Okay? Yesterday's inside day didn't stop it. So we are still one time framing up. Are we eventually going to go get this high from February 2nd? I think we are. I think it's a good chance to get it. What do we do with it? Well, that's a different story, to see if we come out of it and to see if the monthly finally turns up. I hope you had a good day trading. Enjoy your evening. I will have a video out tomorrow morning, so we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow, and I hope to be back shortly after the opening bell.